Some call it the Switzerland of Turkey. I don't know about that, but I do know that this is my new favorite location. We're going to Ayder Plateau, in Turkish also known as Ayder Yaylası. Here we're in the bus. We're going from Kars all the way to Rize, which is about 7 hours. And right before Rize, that is where the Ayder Plateau is, and it's going a bit inwards in the country, which I'll show later on the map. On the way to Ayder Plateau from Kars, there's a lot of nice scenery, so the bus trip, even though it's quite long, it was actually quite enjoyable. This is part 4 of a series where my wife and I traveled through Turkey over a month. So we started in the middle of Turkey, where I'm from, by car, went to all the way to the east, which was an 11-hour car ride. After that, we stayed one night in Kars, and then from Kars, we're going by bus all the way to Rize. Both of these cities we did by bus, but we knew that around Ayder Plateau, there's a lot of things to do, so we definitely needed a car for that. And that's why we decided to rent a car at a company called Ceyhun, which was in the end. So we did this at a place called Pazar, and from there on it's about a 45-minute ride all the way to Ayder Plateau. As always, do record the car, although I have to say we had no issues with this company at all, so definitely recommend going with this company. So my wife and I rented a bungalow in the forest. It's a 15-minute ride from the public road, which was really great because all you heard was a river and just nature, and this was our trip where we just wanted to chill for a few days and not do too much. The next morning we woke up around 10 and looked for a breakfast place. We found this place called Kalif Cafe, a really cute place next to the river. I mean, the view itself already is more than enough, but the food was actually also really enjoyable. Price per person is about 600 liras, which is about 13 to 14 euros per person. We had some muglama at the breakfast. And luckily the portions in Turkey are really big, so after this breakfast I think we didn't eat until dinner. From there we took the car and drove to Zilkale, which is about a 10-15 minute ride from there. Insanely beautiful views, and the nature here is really amazing just being here. And we decided to go to Fırtına Creek, which is the other part where you can actually go to Palovit Waterfall, and I do definitely recommend to walk this part. So although no one does this, park your car at this place called Tarzan Adventure Park, and from there walk all the way up to the waterfall, because along the route it's so much nicer to just walk it instead of being in the car with a lot of tourists who just went to the waterfall, because I think the walk itself was maybe even nicer than the whole waterfall. You see all of these bee houses and all of this beautiful nature and paths. It's about an hour, maybe 1.5 hour walk from this adventure park. This is the waterfall, and here you can see that all of the tourists, they arrived here, just checked the waterfall and went back. From the waterfall we went back to Çamlıhemşin, which is like a city center nearby. It's this one road, super cute town. There we bought some pastries for the next morning because we want to immediately after breakfast go for a hike as well. Also along the way, when we went to Ayder Plateau itself, there was a lot of these nice waterfalls and locations where you can sit and chill and have a drink. So we went to this waterfall where a lot of this water was streaming from. We wanted to go to Ayder Plateau, the one that you always see on Google with all of the photos, and we just want to get a sense of how it looks like, but also whether the next day we will be able to walk from there all the way to Huser Plateau, and we'll come back to that later. Here we are at Ayder Plateau. And then in Ayder Plateau we went to this local restaurant called Gagaç. It's a really beautiful family-owned restaurant, nothing too fancy. We had this turşu kavurma, which we really enjoyed, and then after that of course had some sütlaç, which is rice pudding. Walked around a little bit more in this part called Ayder Plateau, and then after that went home. And then the next morning we decided to go back, but then go further from Ayder Plateau and then go to this other plateau, which is located in the clouds, or more towards in the sky. But before that we actually drove wrong. We missed an exit and then stumbled upon this mountain. And then until a certain point the roads are really becoming quite insane and definitely not doable for the car that we rented. And we also didn't want that because we wanted to walk this part. So from that road all the way up, it took about 3 hours, so that was really a workout. But this was, I think, the best part of the entire, maybe the entire holiday, maybe just this part of the holiday. But yeah, being in the nature here, walking around in the mountains, really, every time we looked back and we got higher, more mountains popped up, and that was insanely beautiful, just to walk all the way up. So from this first part, there was luckily a restaurant where we had a short break and then walked another 45 minutes all the way up. But you can see the view here, like walking all the way up. It's definitely enjoyable. The air, it feels really fresh and really amazing. And then all the way at the top, the good thing is that we went in the afternoon, and most of the tours actually only go with the sunset. At the top we went to a cafe. There was this really cute grandma who offered us a tea and had a great chat with her. But overall, the people were really nice and really friendly, and we never ran into a single issue, luckily. So for me personally, this was definitely the highlight of the trip, because being here, it was so insanely beautiful. If you're planning a Turkey trip, do keep this one in mind because you will not regret it. So after this, we went back down, jumped in the car. We were really tired, went home, took a shower, and then went for our last dinner. We had dinner at a place called Balkon 53. It had this really nice casserole dish and actually quite affordable for this part or for this area. So we enjoyed the food there, and the next day we woke up and continued our journey to Rize. Rize is known for its tea, but more about that in the next video. See you in the next one. Ciao ciao, bye bye.